Hey guys, and welcome back to Latasha Hewitt Homes. If this is your first time visiting this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. We like to talk about all things home here: home organization, home cleaning, minimalism, real estate, anything related to home. So if you haven't already, we love it if you would subscribe. So in talking about a lot of this decluttering and minimalism as I often mention Facebook Marketplace. I just love Facebook Marketplace because it really helps when you're trying to get rid of stuff in your home to have some place where you can sell it conveniently online and get things out of the house, but also earn money to maybe get some of the things that you need for your home. So I decided it was time to share my top 10 tips for selling on Facebook Marketplace. You guys ready for these? Number 1. Take flattering photos of whatever item you're selling, whether it's furniture or clothing or shoes. You want to make sure you get kind of a 360 view of the item for the person. For clothes, I always take a picture of the front and the back, sometimes the sleeves, special details like buttons or patterns that can't always be seen when you take a photo from a distance. I also, with shoes, like to take pictures of the bottom of the shoe so they can see how worn they are at the bottom, see any scuffs that may be there. I also want to make sure that I have proper lighting. If you really want your items to shine, they have to be able to be seen clearly. And you also want to get a true picture of what their color really is, because we know how sometimes things can be distorted when you take pictures. But the key is to make your items look as flattering as possible. Try to make sure there's not a lot of junk around the item that you're showcasing, and kind of provide a nice little backdrop so that the focus is on what you want the buyer to be drawn to. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and your photo can stick out to make them click and find out more. Number 2, price to sell. This is the marketplace. There are thousands and thousands of sellers out there, and people are not willing to pay top dollar for certain items. And so you have to be realistic about your expectations for prices. One, particularly if it's an item that you'll be shipping, people often factor in what I'm paying plus the shipping. Is this really worth it? And so sometimes you have to lower the price from what you really want to make it of a value to the buyer. When you're doing local pickup, sometimes you can get away with that a little bit more because the shipping is not a factor. But you really want to price items according to what you see is trending. Sometimes I know what I really want to get for something, and I'll go with that. And I have this thing where, oh, it went too fast. Maybe I should have made it higher. But no, be comfortable with your pricing, but make sure you're considering how the buyer is looking at the item and not necessarily how you feel about the item. Price it fairly based on wear and tear and its current condition. Number 3, you have to write a great title and description, because oftentimes when people are searching on Facebook Marketplace, they're putting things in the search engine. And if your title has black dress, size 9, or women's, or specific keywords that people are searching, your item will pop up. So you want your title to be attention grabbing, but also to give them as much information about the item as possible. I always include the size if it's clothing or shoes in the description, as well as the color. Those tend to be key search criteria that people use. But also, don't forget to utilize that description area. Put as much information as you can about the item. With clothing, you may even suggest places that they can wear the item. Oh, great for formal events, or great for a PTO meeting, or things of that nature. Even with furniture, I tend to like to take pictures of it in the place where it is, so people can visualize where it can go in their home. I also put a description of the dimensions. People are always going to ask you how big is it, because they're trying to see if it fits in their space. So if you go ahead and take the extra step and giving them the dimensions of the item, that is really helpful. And when you over-inform the buyer, they feel a little bit more comfortable with making the purchase. So make sure you utilize that description area to give the potential buyer as much information as possible about the item. And don't forget to put any disclosures, any nicks, any dents, Any scratches, maybe a small rip in a piece of clothing, that doesn't necessarily nullify it from being a good purchase, but you just want to make sure they're aware of it and there are no surprises. And that's another thing when we mention the pictures, to make sure you take a picture of, so that there's full disclosure about what the person is getting. Okay, so number 4 is to join your local Facebook yard sale groups. We know that there's a general Facebook marketplace that anyone can search and anyone can purchase and things can be shipped to. But there's so many local Facebook yard sale groups that you can join. So simultaneously, when you post to the marketplace, you can also post to all of these local yard sales. I love to do that, particularly for furniture that you're not going to ship. Nobody wants to go through the headache of trying to ship furniture across the country. So this is particularly important because now you're opening up to people who you could meet, who could do pickup right at your doorstep. You could drop it at their home. So the more groups that you join, the more people in your area will have access to all of your posts. It works out really well. All right, number 5, bundle-like items. So people like to buy things in sets. They feel like they're getting a lot for their money. And this is something I've been trying recently with my clothing since I've been decluttering my closet. And I have recorded a video on that, which I will include in the description of this video. And so I had a lot of dresses that were the same size because I've been wearing the same size for several years. And so I decided to put 3 dresses together just to try it out, pretty much with the same price that I listed them for individually. And they were gone like the next day. And I realized, hey, if I have to pay for shipping, and I like 3 dresses and I have to pay for shipping for each of them because they're listed individually, I probably won't buy it. But if I can get 3 dresses for 1 shipping price, that's very appealing. So particularly with clothing, make sure you bundle like items, 3 dresses. One time I did 5 pairs of pants, and it was perfect because obviously if you could wear one, you could probably wear the rest of them, and it gives a variety. So even if they don't like everything, it seems like such a value to them that they're more likely to purchase it. So make sure you try to bundle as many items as you can when you're using Facebook Marketplace. Number 6, consider the season. Right now, people are gearing up for Christmas and even Thanksgiving and preparing for the holidays in general. And so those types of items are just hot right now. So it's very important that if you're thinking about not using something anymore or getting rid of it, and it's a hot item that people are looking for in stores right now, put it on the marketplace. This is when I bring out boots that I know I wanted to sell last year but forgotten about them. It's like, hey, now everybody's looking for boots and coats and things that are more seasonal. Let me put my stuff out there because everyone's trying to save right now. I mean, things are expensive out there. So make sure you maximize whatever season is currently going on and put those items out there as quickly as possible so you can get that audience looking at your stuff instead of what's in the department stores. Number 7, make sure you have cordial communication with all potential buyers. Now, one thing about the marketplace is people can message you. Is this still available? May I have more information, more pictures, more sizes? And depending on how hot your item is, you can get a lot of inquiries. Sometimes it's very tempting to just kind of ignore and only really go for those who are like ready to buy. But it's important that you answer all the questions that come through and that you respond kindly and not flippantly to any type of request. Sometimes people are going to want to negotiate their price. Hey, this is what you do on the marketplace. Don't be offended. If it's not something you're willing to do, let them know nicely. Not at this time. I really want to stick with the price. Or also give a counter offer. Sometimes people lowball me and I go back somewhere in the middle and we both reach a happy medium. So don't be afraid to negotiate, but just keep the communication cordial between you. You never know when that buyer may come back for a future item of yours, and you don't want to burn any bridges on the marketplace. Number 8, make sure that you are monitoring all of your posts. I know I'm just constantly putting things up there, and sometimes I don't go back and look to say, oh, wait, this hasn't sold. Maybe it's time to reduce the price. When you're monitoring these types of things, one of the things I love about Facebook Marketplace, it allows you to delete the listing and then relist it because it becomes fresh in people's searches. So you may have a buyer who wasn't on Facebook Marketplace 2 weeks ago, but now they're on it and your item pops up. So it's great to be able to go through the items and make sure they're updated so that they appear new in the marketplace, which causes your product to rise as, oh, new today. So you don't want to kind of just put it on the marketplace and leave it there. That's also what I was talking about in terms of maybe it's time to lower the price. If you see that it's been sitting there for a couple of months and it's not selling, maybe it's time to reduce that price a little bit. Or maybe offer free shipping. It's really up to you and what you're trying to get out of the experience. But don't forget to monitor what you're doing. Don't just leave things up there for a long period of time and not make any adjustments, particularly if you're trying to get rid of things out of your home. And number 9, you want to fulfill the orders quickly. So if you get a purchase, if it's local, then you want to arrange a time, a day and time for them to either pick it up from your home, which I am most comfortable with. Whatever's most convenient for me, I'm a big fan of. You could also agree to meet them somewhere, or you may even do a drop off. Either way, you want to make sure that you arrive on time or that you're present on time when you say that you will be, because the buyers do have the option to review their interaction with you on the marketplace, and you don't want your ratings going down because of one bad experience with a buyer, because others will look at that and say, yeah, I don't think I can trust this seller, so I'll look somewhere else. So make sure that you are responding to things quickly. If it's something that you're shipping, I always, as soon as the order comes in, I print out the label right away and package it as quickly as possible. And while I'm packaging it, I also make sure, this is kind of a side tip, make sure that the item is in good condition. I do an extra clean. If I see anything on it, I wipe out little spots, anything, because I want the buyer to get the product as close to what they saw in the pictures as possible. So take the time to make sure you're presenting your product as neatly and cleanly as possible, but please respond quickly after a purchase has been made. And number 10, after you've gone through all this and the selling and things being pending, and make sure you update the status on the marketplace, because if not, you'll still be getting inquiries about whether this is available. So after it's sold, if it's not something that was purchased by shipping, because it does automatically update that it's been sold once they've paid for it on the marketplace, then if they pick it up, you have to go back in there and say it's sold. And that way people will no longer see it on the marketplace, and you no longer have to respond to those inquiries for that item. All right, guys, so those have been my 10 tips for selling on Facebook Marketplace that have resulted in me doing pretty well. And I hope that they have been helpful for you. If they have, please go ahead, like this video. Share it with someone who's thinking about selling on a marketplace, don't really know how to get started. And I may do another video. My husband actually asked me to show him how to set up his own Facebook Marketplace so he can sell some of his items. And so if maybe I'll do a video just to show you how to get it set up. But once you do it, it's like easy peasy. I do it from my phone. I do it while I'm waiting. I take pictures of things randomly, and then when I have free time, just upload them to the marketplace. And every time a new sale comes through, you have a new marketplace order. I'm like, yay! It's like those small little celebrations that can kind of pop up through your day. So I hope this has been helpful, as I said before. Don't forget to like. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody, and happy selling. All right, so this is our guest room. And this is kind of where I house my Facebook Marketplace closet. You'll recognize the hangers from my main closet. These represent all the clothes, well, most of the clothes that have either been donated or sold. This side are still clothes that are listed on the marketplace. And what I decided to do this week is to go ahead and sell some clothes in multiples. So I had 3 dresses. I think I have all together still. These 3 dresses here. I actually use this as a nice little picture spot for them. So I hung them here and took pictures of them. So actually doubled as a nice backdrop for Facebook Marketplace. But I had these 3 dresses, same size. I decided to sell them as a bundle instead of individually, and they sold quickly. So if you have dresses that are maybe similar or complementary, same size, try selling it in a bundle because people like to save on the shipping.